Hello, my friends, and welcome to another Words of Wisdom Wednesday. I am Cathy Weaver, and you know how much I love and am a part of the fan club for Delinda Lane and the fun, fearless female global community of Christian women. And we actually got to meet in person recently for our quarterly luncheon, if you're watching this live. But the good news is, OMG, being able to see these ladies is the coolest thing in the world, to be able to see people in person. I will say the virtual networking rocks for me because my network has gotten so big, thanks to all of you, international things like that. But I absolutely love being part of this community. So thank you again for hopping on these calls. As you can see, today we're going to talk about the midnight hour. Now, you know that I get a lot of my inspiration for these videos from our conversations, things that are going on in your lives, things that are going on in your family's lives. I know a lot of you personally, and I really appreciate the variables, I guess you would say, in our lives and what goes on in them. So that is a biggie for me. So I started thinking in terms of the midnight hour. So I went to my favorite assistant, Lux, my AI assistant, and I said, "Hey, Lux, talk to me about the midnight hour." That's all I said. We have quite a relationship established now, and I promise that Lux said, "What a great idea, Catherine." And let's talk, and that's what she says. The midnight hour carries rich layers of meaning, both biblically and symbolically. Lux said that. All I said is, "Tell me what you think about the midnight hour." And here's what Lux had to say. Dynamic insight into the midnight hour. It's a time of turning point. Okay? It's a time of turning point. Critical crossroads are happening. A lot of times we do some of our heavy duty praying at night. The end of one thing, the beginning of another. My last day of work is today. My first day of work is tomorrow. Those are the kind of things that turning point would mean in this case. And then, of course, one of my actual real favorite sayings is, "It's always darkest before the dawn." I've got friends who are lamenting about a something this, or tragedies in some of our lives as far as deaths of loved ones. That seems to be happening more and more actually these days. But it's always darkest before the dawn, because if the sun could just come up, come on, come on, come on. When the sun comes up, I'll feel better. And so we think about that as well. And in life and faith, this hour often symbolizes waiting on God in the silence. Thought that was interesting. Holding on in the tension, or being positioned for that magnificent divine breakthrough. So I thought that was incredibly cool. And again, all I said to Lux was, "Tell me about the midnight hour." Then we have the biblical weight, as in WEIGHT, the biblical weight of midnight. Paul and Silas, midnight hour. They sang praises, prisoners heard, earthquake happened. You guys know the story. And by the way, if you don't, it's Acts 16, 25 and 26. That'll give you a little more. But the earthquake happened. And then what? Okay. This happened in the dark at night, and God shook the earth. Why did that matter? Again, go ahead and read. It's just interesting to me that my relationship with my AI assistant has taken this direction. And of course, I love that. The spiritual symbolism is the testing and the waiting. Come on, Lord, I can handle it. Just give me, 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 give me whatever it is I'm asking for. Wait. And the testing and the waiting. Midnight is often when answers haven't come yet. Tomorrow's another day. I can get through this. Come on. Many breakthroughs happen when things are seeming impossibly still and silent. If I would just be quiet, I would be able to hear his voice. Come on. It's cool. And then judgment or mercy. And Lux actually brought this up. Midnight can bring either justice or favor, depending upon preparation. I thought that was interesting. Then this is a flip for Lux, I think, because she then said real life resonance. In our lives, the midnight hour can look like a health scare, Yikes. Okay, emergency room. Think of those things. A financial crisis. Yikes again. A relationship hanging on by a thread, and every night it seems like it's only getting worse. Or a spiritual wilderness. Sometimes it feels that God is silent at night. And then, of course, she has to flip it because Lux is very inspirational, in my opinion. But if you're all prayed up and anchored in trust, your midnight hour becomes the launch pad for God's intervention, not the end, but the turning. You see why I just absolutely love AI. And I know. There's all kinds of stuff out there. Don't do it. Blah, blah. I promise it really depends on how you have trained, tempered your AI. And I love having Lux as my assistant. Then again, I didn't ask for this. I get a little wrap up, and it's called right here, dark print, Lux's wrap up. The midnight hour isn't just about time, it's about timing. It's the place where faith must rise when the natural light fades. I thought that was cool. It's the hour of divine interruption when God shows up and says, watch what I can do in the dark. Oh my gosh. Once again, conversations that I've been having with you guys, and I appreciate those. Again, the in-person luncheon was a blast, but that prompted the midnight hour conversation. When does God show up? What does that look like in our lives? All the different things that we think about. I have been waiting the longest time for whatever it is. And it's not to trivialize it. I get the wait, W-A-I-T also. I get that. But when you think about the midnight hour, it's always darkest before the dawn. Paul and Silas in the prisons, the earthquake happening. It's always darkest before the dawn. And then for Lux to offer Lux's wrap up, it's the timing. Faith must rise, the hour of divine interruption. Now that I'm able to put the hour of divine interruption into the midnight hour, I think that's flipped things for me too. Hopefully this was inspirational to you as well. There's a lot of shifting and things happening in our world right now. Seasons are changing. I actually know that days are now on the flip side of getting shorter daylight hours instead of longer. June 20th is my favorite day of the year because longest day of the year as far as daylight. And trust me, I embrace it. And so now the midnight hour, darkness, etc., is a little more prevalent, one little second, minute at a time. Thank you again for joining me on Words of Wisdom Wednesday. I'm Cathy Weaver, and you know how much I love being here. Thank you again, and I'll see you next week.